And we are live. What's good, Josh? Your man, DL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast. This is kind of like part two from yesterday, man, talking about the clear pill. We're going to continue. We're going to keep talking about that clear pill thing. We ran out of time yesterday. We went a couple hours, and yeah, it is what it is, man. So it's hump day. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. My poor baby is not feeling well. She missed school today. We might have to go to urgent care if things don't change. It's just some weirdness, not weirdness, but just kids get sick sometimes, man, and just don't know what it is. But yeah. So, but she's my little baby's tough. She's like, I'm fine. I just this keep happening. Like, all right. So we got to figure it out. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Hope all is well. Hope you're having a good hump day, a good Wednesday. Um, yeah. So this clear pill thing, what's going on with that? And I know people are looking at the title, look at the thumbnail, like, bro, what happened? Why the sudden change? Not a sudden change. My thoughts are still the same as they were yesterday, but I caught a live stream of brother Adam Lane Smith, and let's just say that I see what he's doing. Anyway, let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Yeah, man. Let's definitely get into it. So we left off yesterday about halfway through, maybe a little bit more than halfway through the video. And Brother Adam was really going hard on the red pill and he was just harping on staying on these negative things that didn't make sense to me. Now I haven't had an opportunity to actually have a conversation with this brother, you know what I mean? He was on a live. I did send a super chat, talking about, hey, I'm not, I sent in a super chat about the video that we're reacting to here. And I'm like, hey, I don't agree with all your thoughts on red pill, but I do respect the fact that you're trying to help men, right? I put that in. I didn't read that in. I sent a super chat because one of his supporters were asking about getting his ex back, which is you don't want to do that. Like that's a no. And Brother Adam agreed. He was like, no. Now he was telling this guy like, you guys, why would you want to do that sort of thing? And we kind of get into it. And I sent in a super chat, like a $10 super chat, like, yeah, man, you don't want your ex back. It's the reason that y'all didn't work. Move on. But I really believe it's about tone. I really believe it's about delivery of the message. Adam Lane Smith is red pill. Don't get it twisted. He's red pill. It's just, I think it was Brother Cody said it yesterday. He just sprinkles the red. It's like red sprinkles on there, right? He comes at them with how should we say this? A very easy style, right? And it's almost kind of like I said, it's like, oh, it's okay, have a seat, come on in, have some tea kind of style. Whereas people like me are like, get yourself together, bro. Get up, grab your gear, move forward, go, push, right? So I get what he's doing. He is carving out a lane with this soft red pill message, right? So again, you're shoving the red pill, that nasty medicine, into some candy and letting people get the medicine that way. And it was like I said, he has a lot of followers. They really love what he's doing over there. He didn't respond to my red pill comment, but other people in his chat did. And I just see dudes who these dudes believe that the red pill message is too aggressive. They think it mess men up. Men are out here being mean and they're doing these things. I don't agree with any of that. This red pill thing, man, is, like I said, it's just an awakening. And then some of these techniques are just that. They're techniques. They're like tools. And if you want to use these tools, you can. I can use, a pair of scissors for good things, and I can use it for bad things. You feel me? I can use a firearm for good things, and I can use it for bad things. So what people are doing with these techniques, what people are doing with these tools, that's on them. So, but we're going to continue with this breakdown. I want to get through it. I just want to continue with the breakdown. So we'll bring up the I forgot to bring this here it is. We'll share the screen and get this thing going. But like I said, man, everything this dude talks about is 100% red pill. Everything he talks about. And right there, when I was just on that live for, I don't know, I don't think I was there 10 minutes. But when that guy was talking about his ex, and you hear that so much. There's so many dudes out here trying to figure out, how do I get my ex-wife back? How do I get my ex-girlfriend back? How do I get that girl back who just dumped me? She ghosted me. How do I get her back? Why would you want her back, bro? Right? Why would you want her back? And honestly, the best way to do it is to build yourself up, right? Become a beast, and she'll come back to you. Why are you chasing her? Have her come looking for you. But I would stay away from that regardless. Just leave it alone. But it's normal. People want that. Like, I want, again, that whole one-nighters thing, right? Oopsie. That whole one-nighters thing. Yeah, guys, there's so many guys who fell down the red pill rabbit hole, the manosphere rabbit hole, because they wanted to get her back. Why? It's over, bro. Let it be over. Move on. Transform yourself into the guy that she wants, and then let her get in line and try to get at you. How about doing that? You know what I mean? That's again, this is red pill stuff. Now, the way we say it over here versus the way he says it over there is different tonality, but it's the same message. You know what I mean? Brother Jackson, the building. What's good? What's good? What's good, Night? Good to see you, bro. Thanks for coming through. But yeah, man, it's the same thing. Like, I see what he's doing over there, and it's working. And there's another thing too. Like, we come hard with it with this RP content. Some people come harder than others or whatever. They're just in your face, and YouTube doesn't like it. Let's keep it 100. YouTube doesn't like it. So if you come up with a kinder, friendlier red pill message that YouTube will get behind, that's going to get you so many views, man. It's going to get you pushed in the algorithm. It's going to get you more people into your funnel for coaching and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to sell more products, more merch, more books. You're going to be able to help more people because your reach is going to be that much greater. So it makes sense to me why someone would come with a kinder, friendlier RP message. And, he decided to call it Clear Pill. I am not mad at the dude whatsoever. But let's continue with the video.
Total destruction of the spirit. Neither is the pathway of a true man. So we have to find your honor code right in the video to stop you filing. By slaying your fear, I lay a clear plan to find your core principles. Mine are honesty, integrity, and compassion. And I have to live them every day, or I can't sleep at night. I found them by digging into the places I was most ashamed of in my past behavior, or by asking myself what would wound me the most if other people told me to my face that I had failed to live up to them. I also looked at heroes that I respected and asked what they possessed in fearless quantity that made me want to be like them. My answers were honesty, integrity, and compassion. Now, over the years, I've trained men in the same method, and I've heard a lot more that could resonate with you instead. Things like loyalty, discipline, freedom, wisdom, temperance, health, faith, strength, creativity, and courage, just to name a few. What I recommend you do is select 2 or 3 from this list. Rewind it, select 2 or 3 from that list that speak to you, that embody the man you want to be. This is your inner honor code. You probably value these things because you haven't been living them, and that makes you ashamed, or because other people did not live them for you and you've been wounded, or because someone important embodied them completely and you were moved by their example. You know their value more than anybody. And today, you're going to start living them. So set a reminder on your phone each morning about an hour after you wake up that says, I am a man of X, Y, and Z, your 3 core principles.
So yeah, you see what I mean? Like he's coming from a place where, you know, you hear this a lot. You hear this, you know, I hear this a lot in, you know, like the female world. You know, women love to do these sort of things. These words, these core principles, these honor, you know, honor, respect, loyalty, discipline, all this stuff I heard playing football. You know, people heard coming up, you heard playing pee wee, like playing little league baseball, playing football. My buddies who played basketball, it was the same thing. We heard these things when that was instilled by our coaches, right? Because we had to be responsible on the field, we had to be responsible on the court, we had to be responsible on the diamond. We had people relying on us. We had to get our job done. If you wanted a spot, you had to earn it, and you had to work even hard to keep it. You had to work even harder, right? So that was, you know, every day. Like what he's talking about now was every day. And what I've begun to realize is people didn't get that. Men didn't get that. These young dudes out here, these males, they didn't play these sports. They didn't play at a high level. They didn't compete. Again, everyone got a trophy. It was time out. No one was held accountable for their actions. And now all that stuff has caught up with them. Right? That's all it is. So he's, you know, Brother Adam was over here teaching these dudes stuff that we learned as kids through coaches, through the grown-ups, the grown men taught us these tenets, these principles, and we would live by it. And it wasn't always about winning the football game. It was always about winning the game of life. Coaches would always sit us down and talk about that. Like, yeah, the stuff we do on the field is just a reflection of what you're going to do in the real world, making good decisions, keeping yourself out of trouble, being there for your friends and leaning on one another, being a part of this brotherhood, becoming men, holding each other accountable. This was all a part of it. You feel me? So a lot of people who tend to resonate with the hardcore red pill message are probably used to that world. They were athletes. Maybe they were in the military. You know what I mean? They were doing their thing, maybe boxing or wrestling or whatever. That falls under being, you know, being an athlete or whatever. So they heard these things and they're used to the rough message, like pick yourself up, make it, you know, get after it. But then all those guys who didn't play sports, those guys who didn't have access to those coaches and didn't live that life, now they're lost and they need these words. They need to understand these things. And that's what Adam is over there teaching on clear pill, seems like to me. And again, it makes sense. And I think the brother understands both sides of it. I think he understands the red pill. And again, this market, then is you're gonna have to market it. It's that, you know, there are people who are afraid of it because it just seems so in your face, so hardcore, but they still need the message. So he's gonna soften it up a bit. He's gonna say it in a way, maybe like a preacher. That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of like a preacher somewhere, and that's how they talk. You know what I mean? Some preachers, not the fiery revival, you know, revival type preachers, but like just the regular, the Catholic priest who lives in the neighborhood, who's very calm, you know what I mean, has been right there and is always there for you. That's what he reminds me of. And Brother Jack was like, it's as whatever podcast is clear pill as fuck. Yeah. 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 I can see that. Right. So I understand the marketing aspect of it. Let's continue.
Your honor code. For me, I am a man of honesty, integrity, and compassion. The research shows that you're more likely to follow through if you make it part of your identity. I like things. I am a man of these things. This is your honor code. So at night, you set another reminder about an hour before bed. Did I uphold my honor today? Question mark. Meditate on this question every night when it pops up for a minute or two. If you did, well done. You're a man of honor. Good. If you fell short, why? What must you do to make up for it, if anything? What will you change tomorrow? How will you become more honorable in your life? Make a plan. It's not about beating you up. It's about making a plan. Become honorable again. We'll talk about this more here in a moment and how to do that. This approach is how you take ownership and how you become a man of honor. This is the first step of the clear pill. The second step is to find your mission. Now, most people in modern society have no idea what the purpose of their life is. When you ask them to define the meaning of life, they give you that vague, cliched answer about how no one really knows the meaning of life. I'm here to tell you that answer is crap.
Well, we can definitely agree on that. Right. So he's starting to transition to know yourself, know your enemy, right? A little bit of Sun Tzu. Like he's saying what he's saying. I'm doing more of a militaristic style. Know yourself, know your enemy. You can't possibly know where you're going if you don't know where you are, where you came from. How do you need to know you? Again, this is all red pill stuff. This is red pill stuff. Like this dude made a brilliant decision, business decision, to I'm just going to soften it up a little bit so I can get more people to come over here and he can help them. That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. And he made a decision to maybe I'm gonna come down on a red pill real hard. I'm gonna find those guys who are like, yeah, those red pill guys, they're so tough and mean and they're so hard. All right, I get it, but you're not. You're different. And I'm not trying to belittle the guys who are over there. Like I said, whatever works for you, works for you. However you get the help, right? Whatever pill it comes in, if it's going to help you become a better person and make it through this world, then go ahead and swallow that pill and take the tenets. I'm not mad at all. Right? I'm not mad at all. I get it. I see what he's doing. And I'm not going to sit here and take shots at the brother. It's like, oh man, I'm just watching you. Look at his numbers. He's getting a lot of views. This message is resonating with a lot of guys. Why? Because there are a lot of guys out there who are soft. We talk about the bottom 80 versus the top 20. There's a lot of bottom 80 dudes out there. They didn't play sports, bro. They don't understand that, getting screamed at and yelled at. They weren't in the military, right? They don't understand that. Who get out there, make it happen, rub some dirt on it. They don't understand that. Like they don't understand playing hurt. They don't understand, you got to continue your mission, even though your finger might be broken. You might have torn something in your foot or in your knee. You still got to get the mission going. Wrap it up, rub some dirt on it, get your gear and move forward because people are relying on you. That's too hardcore for some folks. Some folks are more corporate. They're in that environment. Everything is nice and there's kumbaya and all that kind of stuff. They're not going to take till a message is too hard. They're going to shut down and run away. But if you get someone like Brother Adam, who's going to come in here and soften the message up for you just a little bit, just enough to get you to listen, he's still going to get those red pill tenets in there. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
There is absolutely purpose in every human life. To find this purpose, though, you need to look beyond the modern materialistic focus. Our modern setting obsesses over the self. We are encouraged to focus on what we can own and gather and accumulate, how attractive we can become, how much sex we can have. The emphasis is all on the individual experience and accumulation, but this is utterly false. When a person dies, their experience and all their crap dies with them. A dead person after their funeral is not remembered for how much sex they had, most likely. The dead person's possessions, they're descended upon by everybody with a claim to the estate. Money's ripped apart and divvied up. Actual physical possessions are squabbled over or thrown away. Stop for a moment and consider the fact that everything you own likely will one day end up in a dumpster. Sure, your kids may want some stuff as souvenirs and sentiment, but they'll likely stuff it in a box in their attic only to be discovered upon their death when their children will then throw the souvenirs away without even knowing what they are. Your money is probably going to be.
Yeah, that's a fact. He ain't lying there. He's not lying about that. In the end, that's what it comes down to. The stuff that I value. It has sentimental value to me, not my daughter. It is what it is. She's going to keep the stuff that has value to her, and everything else is going to be gone. That's a fact. But when you notice when he said they're not going to know you for how many women you slept with, but then he put a little caveat on there, right? He put a quick asterisk on there. Yeah, there's men out there who are known. Casanova was known for his female prowess, right? Wilt Chamberlain, not only was he known for being a dominant force on the basketball court, but all the women he had. That's never going anywhere. Whenever you say his name, you're going to think of those two things, right? So no, I mean, and like I said, he said it real quick. It's red pill stuff, bro. He's talking red pill stuff. He's making sense, right? But if you're the guy that wants to go out there and have a really high body count, you want a really high notch count, you just want to get out here and get after women like Hugh Hefner did. You want to be the next Playboy, official Playboy, and have a Playboy mansion. If that's what you want to do, and if you can build that, you'll be known for that. right? Hugh Hefner was known as the ultimate playboy. He's dead and gone, but we still remembered Playboy Mansion. We still remember the magazine for us who were old enough to remember. We still remember this old man who was surrounded by all these beautiful young women. We still remember. That's what he was known for. That's what he wanted. He locked that in early and he went out there and he got it. So know yourself. What are you looking for? You can't be a guy who's looking for a wife, but you're going to go out here and just run plays just because. There has to be a reason. If you're going out here getting experience with women, because that's going to help you choose the wife that you are looking for in the future, all right, that makes sense. Go out here and get experience with women. That doesn't mean you got to go out here and smash 100 women. Doesn't mean you have to smash 50 women, but you can't be a virgin. You're going to go out, you have to go out here and figure out how the modern sexual marketplace works. Red pill information right there, right? That's all that is. You're going to have to know yourself. Learn these things so you can protect yourself as you're going out here looking for what you're looking for. That's all red pill stuff, man. All of it.
Squandered away. It's going to disappear into bills and car payments, expensive cosmetic surgeries, all kinds of things, but your money will be gone. Now, if you put stock in your video game accomplishments, nobody's going to care how many achievements you unlock the day after your funeral. They're not going to engrave your gaming profile on your headstone after all. The same with the number of books that you have read. Who cares about any of that after your funeral? So the grand question becomes, if none of these things are the purpose of your life, if none of them matter to that extent, then what does? What survives beyond the day of your funeral? Now, that question is where we discover the purpose of life. Stop for a moment and consider the people that you've lost. You remember them fondly, but why does their memory stick with you? What was important about them? The answer usually lies in the impact they had on your life. We treasure memories of people who helped us when we needed it most, or who mentored us when we didn't know what else to do. We hold up with honor and revere people who reached out to others and rescued them from the darkness. The impact that a human being has on the lives of those around them is what survives beyond death and echoes into eternity. So when you start out alone, your decisions affect no one but yourself. Or few responsibilities is all you face. Feeding yourself, occasionally washing your socks, making sure you have enough money for pizza. When you get married or get a partner, you share those decisions with another human being, and they're at least partly responsible for their well-being, and you are too, maybe, in so much as you don't negatively impact their quality of life. When you have children, though, you become responsible for their well-being, and your decisions take on a greater purpose and meaning because they'll have lasting repercussions for your children. Children are one method of this, not the only method. We'll talk about that. But let's assume right now that you're a 20-something hip single person living a great lifestyle, nonstop parties and all the burritos you can eat. For the sake of this discussion, let's assume that over the next 10 years, you get married and you have 3 kids. Let's say 30 years after that, your kids also get married and they have 3 children. 30 years after that, your grandchildren get married, they have 3 children. 30 years after that, your great-grandchildren get married and they have 3 children. That means that 100 years from now, you'll be looking at great-great-grandchildren. So if we assume each of your children has 3 children and their children have 3 children and then so on to that 5th generation, you end up with 120 biological descendants in the next 100 years.
Andrew Tate talked about this. Right. Again, I'm just drawing the parallels between what Brother Adam is talking about with his clear pill message and the red pill as it stands now. Andrew Tate was talking about this. He was sat at a table full of women. I was in the room. This is Fresh and Fit Studio. I've done videos on it here. Andrew Tate came in, sat at the table. It was a great podcast. And Andrew Tate was being 100 with these women. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. When it comes to a man, especially someone like Andrew Tate talking to a bunch of women. And he was saying that having children is such a beautiful thing. And he was talking about his grandmother. He was like, yeah, went to my grandmother's birthday. I think it was like her 80th birthday or something like that. And then it was, all of his siblings and his parents. And then it was all their cousins and then their parents. Cause like his grandma had a lot of kids. And he was like, isn't that something? No one talks about, her going to festivals or going to concerts. No one talks about her, being a boss babe or going on girls trips. No, he was like, Like, he was just saying all these sentient beings that came from her, like all these people, house full of people. And I think he said it was, I don't know, like 30 of them or something like that, maybe more. All these people that came from one woman. And she stayed in that house, and she was a mom, and she was a grandma and a great grandma, and she took care of those babies, and she was there for her family. That's what they're gonna remember her for. That's what I mean, that is a beautiful thing. And he turned to these women. He's like, and if you think that you're gonna make a bunch of money for some corporation who doesn't care about you, they'll fire you in a minute, and you're not gonna have kids, you're gonna go past your childbearing years, and you think that because you can afford to buy a couple Gucci bags, that you're not gonna be crazy. And I'm hacking it up, I'm paraphrasing, right? I'm hacking it all up, but it was beautiful what he said. And all those women were sitting there like, oh my God, you're right. You know, and his point was, he was like, you're not men. Go in here. You know, women have the ability to create life. Like, babies come from women. That is a beautiful thing. That is why women should be protected. That is why women should be cherished. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a mom. None of us. We're not coming out of test tubes, not yet, right? Kind of similar to what he's saying, but I guess, brother Adam here is saying it from a male perspective, right? If you want to be remembered as a man, you want to be a man of honor, a man of your word, a man who's not a coward, a man who was there and took care of business as best he could. That's what you want. That's what you want to be known for if you can. I mean, seriously, that's what you want to be known for. You don't want to go through this existence and not reproduce, in my opinion. I mean, even though there's some downside to it, it could be some craziness, the way our society has set it all up. Still, I love being a dad, bro. Just keep it 100. I love being a dad. Brother Knightish is in the building. What's good, fam? Shout out to you and the chat. Brother Doug is up in the piece, bro. I see you, fam. What's good, Brother Doug? How you feeling, man? And just so you guys know, I split off that I really want to know podcast from Downrange Podcast. So Downrange Podcast is out there, man. I'm doing videos over there. I'm doing lives. I'm uploading the previous videos over there. Downrange Politics podcast is there. I'll put a link in the chat if you guys want to go over there and check it out. Please do me a favor, go over there, subscribe. We're just trying to grow. We got like 14 subscribers over there. We're just trying to grow it, and we're having fun. But what this brother is talking about makes sense. Again, you need to understand who you are and what you want out of life. Some dudes are cool not having kids. They just want to go through and just be with women and smash and do whatever. Some dudes want to be, most guys want to have a relationship. They want to have that significant other, not a partner. Most dudes want a wife. Y'all know how I feel about that word partner. We were talking about it yesterday on the stream yesterday. Most dudes want a wife. They just want one. They don't want to run plates. They don't want to be out there womanizing, right? They don't. They just want to have a wife and children and be a provider and protector and do all that stuff. Most dudes want to do that. And if you want to do that today, you're going to have to work on yourself, and you're going to have to come up with a plan to do it. But in order to do any of that, man, you got to know yourself. Brother Dusto, Scam Likely's in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you. Let's continue the video.
Including their spouses, by the way, who are obviously directly impacted by their lives, you actually have about 240 descendants. Now, this is 120 marriages modeled on your marriage. These are 240 lives directly impacted by the decisions you make on an everyday basis. Is that enough pressure for you? Well, good. Then here, have some more guilt. The bad decisions that you make ripple downward through this branching tree of descendants. When you choose to be unhealthy, or when you foolishly spend money, or when you make crazy decisions, or when you are just doing the wrong thing and breaking your honor, you are risking this entire tree. You're letting emotional wounds fester that damage that legacy and diminish your ability to create a healthy family tree over the next 100 years. Do you feel that surge of anxiety, that burning urgency? Good. You should feel pressure every single day to provide the best possible outcome for all of your descendants, because as we have established, your impact on the human lives around you is what really matters. And this is not just biological children, adopted children, foster children, people you mentor, people you just help, people that you just assist on the course of their life, people whose life you fundamentally change at a key moment. Three You help 3, they help 3, they help 3. No children involved. That is still the same effect. Celibate.
Facts. Facts. Everything he's saying, I agree with, and all that's red pill. If you are an honorable man, you don't necessarily have to have children to be an influence on others, right? It takes a village to raise kids. We've gotten away from that concept, but you can be a coach, you could be a mentor, right? You could just be the guy who talks to the kids as they go walking by, every now and then, because if you're an honorable man, if you stand tall, what I mean, you standing there, standing tall, looking good, you're a man of honor. People are drawn to that, right? Women are drawn to that, right? That you're gonna be a top 20 guy. They're drawn to that. And you can just sit back and, share your stories and give your advice and not be afraid of what people have to say. Like if you think it's ridiculous that trans people, get to compete, like, men, trans men or whatever, like the people who were born men but identify as women are competing against biological women, you can say like that doesn't make any sense. We're not, I mean, it takes courage to say those things, especially today, in today's world. It takes courage. You're not saying it out of place of anger. It's like, well, just biologically, that's just not fair to the woman. So let the trans people have their lane and let them compete in their lane. But, I think there's a fight coming up where a female is going to fight a man, a real man. Like, I'm like, we shouldn't be doing that. If you're a man of honor, what I mean, you can stand 10 toes down on that. Like, hey, I think this is wrong. That takes courage. People look up to that. That's red pill stuff, bro. Say it with your face, like I'm saying it right now, not some emoji. Right? I'm saying it because you mean it. It's one thing to say it like you mean it. It's another. I could get an emoji up here and be like saying it behind the, the stream deck and da 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 da. How brave is that? It's not brave at all. Right? If you're talking about being a man of honor, integrity, courage, and all the rest of it, that's what that means. This is what men did back in the day. Men stood there. I mean, think about it. I'm not advocating for this, but it would be pistols at dawn, right? They would stand there and fight for their honor. They would put their lives on it, bro. They would duel, sometimes to the death, to uphold their honor and the honor of their family name and their wives and their children. Again, I'm not advocating that we go back to that, but you have to be the man that is willing to step up and protect his family, his wife, his name, right? That's what dude's talking about. You got to be able to do that, right? You got to be able to do that. Casual Germs in the building. What's good, fam? That's all red pill. He's talking red pill stuff right here.
Priests can do this. Dudes who have never met a woman can do this. Women who do not want to get married can do this. So ask yourself right now, what do your spreading ripples look like so far? So far, you might have a limited reach. Part of that could be because your connections have been terribly weak. I teach about attachment issues a lot, and broken attachment will weaken your connection to other people and shut down your ability to leave much impact. That's why selecting your core principles and building your mission, your impact on the world, jump starts the process. This defines who you really are. Now, all of this leads up to selecting the other people you want in your life and how you're going to interact with them. When you hit a crisis point, a conflict, a decision of any kind, you refer back to your mission and your honor code. What does your honor code say you must do? Don't please others and don't avoid pain or conflict. Embrace your honor and your mission and tell the other person what you're choosing and why. Embrace who you are. No more fear. This is how you build boundaries, by the way. Good people that you want in your life will encourage you to embrace your mission and honor, and they won't want you to violate them. Manipulators will encourage you to cast these things away for their convenience, or they'll mock you for them. The way you practice this is those phone messages we set earlier. Every single morning, you're confronted by them, and every single night, you have to justify how you did that day. This is going to make it.
I mean, you can do it with phone messages. I don't really advocate for that. If you're a man, be a man. You know what it is. You got to look yourself in the mirror every day. You look yourself in the mirror, you know what you've done. You know what you did. You know what you didn't do. Like, you can't get away from that. Like, you know that old saying, a coward dies 1,000 deaths. You know what I mean? An honorable man, only one. Right? Just think about that. If you're going to live that life, live that life. I mean, if you need a phone reminder, okay, I guess, but they didn't have phones in the 16th century, 17th century, 18th century. They didn't have that. What reminder did they have? They got up and they did what needed to be done. Right? When the Huns were at the gates, right? When the when the Vikings came knocking, when the Mongols showed up, those men grabbed their spears, they grabbed their swords, they grabbed their shields, they grabbed whatever, and they went out there and they faced it. You just got to face it, bro. You just got to face it. And it's constant every day. You just got to face it. Yeah, it's hard. It's easy just to crawl behind a rock or something, but you got to face it if you want to be that guy. Brother Pitney, what's good, fam? It's like this guy's making up a private label version of the purple pill. Hope this doesn't gain any traction. He's gotten a lot of traction, bro. He's gotten a lot of traction. I caught up with him yesterday after the show. I saw that he had a live on, so I was like in the chat. I was watching the live. Man, I'm telling you, from a business standpoint, it is working. This message is resonating with a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes. It's probably resonating with a lot of females too. It's working, bro. But it's, as far as I see it, man, I don't care. It's still red pill. At its core, it's still a red pill message, and it's still helping dudes. If they need to hear it like this, then so be it. Let them hear it like this. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at them. I ain't mad.
So much harder at first and so much easier for the rest of your life to start making all of your decisions around your mission and your honor every single day. When you reflect at night on if you upheld your honor, this is why you consider it. You consider when you violated them and why. And next time, how to choose better. Over time, you're going to see the pain of dishonor get worse and worse until you can't bear it. Choosing right will become easier than hurting yourself. You'll come to be a man of mission and honor instead of fear or weakness. This is how you harden yourself into an engine of purpose as you chase your mission and follow your principles.
I mean, he just gave people a reason to run from the pain and to embrace pleasure, right? Because most people just avoid pain at all costs, and he just gave them a way to do it. Again, this is smart, bro. This is smart.
You need a partner who values the same things so you can build together. Now, Red Pill gets this wrong and has you chasing insecure people who are almost certainly going to fall apart when you need their support and who might betray you when you need them most. It creates massive security gaps in your mission by pairing you with weak women and encouraging you to resist love and support.
And that's the part I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Again, with this sort of marketing tool, you're gonna need a bad guy. So the red pill. Are there guys out there who do that? Yeah. But it's like you said before, what's your mission? If your mission is go out here and just smash chicks, go smash them. You know what I mean? I don't believe in the whole manipulation part that he's been dropping out here throughout this entire video. Remember yesterday he was talking about there's a lot of manipulation and all that. I don't believe that. If you're out there and you're just running numbers, you're spinning place and you just smashing, and you're being honest because you're an honorable man, you're telling these women what it is. Like, this is all we're doing, right? You're not leading them on. You're not lying to them. Although people do that. People will sell the dream. Shout out to Fresh. You're like, hey, sell them the dream. Fresh will sell you the dream, but he won't lie to you. He won't tell you like, oh, you're the only one, baby, and this and that. He ain't doing all that. He'll tell you the truth. Like, this is how you fit into my life. This is how this works. You want to ride in a Lamborghini, you want to ride in a Rolls Royce? Well, you ain't the only one in there. Shout out to Fresh. Myron the same way. He tells women what's going on. I have this many women. You're one of. If you're cool with that, great. If you're not, it's cool too. No hard feelings. That's being honorable, right? That's not being manipulative. Manipulative. I can't even say the word. That's not manipulating, right? That's not manipulating. If you tell somebody what it is what it is. If they say yes, and my biggest problem with these guys, the pickup artists or whatever, the guys who want to spin plates, they don't mind lying. It is what look, I don't do that. So when you lie, you get caught and they come back and they do stuff to you. Hey man, what did you expect? Right? What goes around comes around, homie. But when you tell a woman the truth and let her choose, and if it ends, she ain't gonna be mad. Matter of fact, she might, you might be able to spin the block a few times because she know you're gonna tell her the truth and she'll find comfort in that, as opposed to going out to most guys who are lying. Most dudes are lying, especially the bottom 80. They'll get a woman and start lying because they want to keep her. Again, if you're an honorable man, why are you lying to your women? You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Brother Pitney is saying, I don't know how he's framing red pill. Men, we're not the villains. The agents of the Matrix are. But you know, if you set yourself up to where you need a villain, red pill is the red pill guys, the manosphere. That's the perfect villain. Look what they did with Tate. It's perfect villain. You know what I mean? It's just perfect villain. It just doesn't hold up, especially if you're a man of honor. It doesn't hold up. But there's plenty of people out there who claim to be RP or whatever, but they're living a different type of life. And they're the ones out there making the most noise. I know me and my man Jay Swans, we're always talking. We were talking today. And Jay Swans helps vets. He's out there helping vets. He's like really passionate about it. But sometimes, I ain't gonna say sometimes, most of the times you're dealing with people who aren't real veterans. And I'm talking about the folks who enlisted in the United States military and then they got out. A failure to adapt sort of thing, or they came up with some reason, like they had a nasty hangnail and they were able to get out in the military, you know what I mean, because of it or something like that. Those people will get out and then they'll run around telling everybody they're veterans, you know what I mean, wearing all the veteran apparel, getting a license plate, talking all that stuff, when in fact they know they're not a vet. You know what I mean? And they just give veterans a bad name, right? That's how I look at this red pill stuff. There's guys out there who claim to be red pill aware. They claim to have had the awakening, when in fact, no, they haven't. No, they haven't. They read that book on, you know what I mean, pickup artistry. They heard a few things like, you know, Fresh and Fit said you got to go out and do this, and Donovan Sharp said you got to go out and do that, and Rich Cooper said you got to. So I'm an unplugged alpha now because I read his book. Like, nah, you're not an unplugged alpha, bro. You know what I mean? You just the same dude you was when you came in here. You're a lying coward who doesn't know how to holler at women. That's who you are. You don't understand the first thing about this, you know, about being the man that you need to be, being the best version of yourself, working, you know what I mean, getting your money up, getting your game up, getting your body up. You don't know the first thing about that. You just out here, you learned a couple tricks and you done picked up on some slow chick and you think you know, you the man. And you married her. Right? And you married her and got wrecked in family court. And now you're like, oh, now you're a black pillar, doom and gloom and all this kind of stuff. Man, that's on you. That's on you. But if you need a villain, the red pill is the perfect villain. And like I said, I'm not mad at brother Adam at all. I see what he's doing. He's bringing there's a lot of guys over there that follow him. They love his message and they are getting help, dude. So I can't be mad at him. They are getting help. Go over there and check it out for yourself if you don't believe me.
Clear pill means you become a man of honor, of mission, and of total ownership. You acknowledge that past relationship disasters have been at least partly your choice for selecting the partners that you did and for allowing the problems to grow. By taking control of your principles and your mission, you find new direction in life. These two things will in turn drive healthier dating as you use them in the 3-date method, something I've talked a lot about in other videos and live streams. I'll do another video soon on how clear pill men can and should use the 3-date method to filter carefully when selecting a partner so you can cut out any manipulative women who will hurt you, but also drive off any insecure women who will crumble and threaten your mission and your peace of mind. Now I'll show you
his 3-date method, I'm sure, is way different than my 3-date rule. Right? Just different things, man. Like, you know, again, know yourself, know your mission. You cannot come up with a proper mission if you don't know yourself and know your own capabilities. And once you come up with that mission, you gotta, you know, execute. So that's what I like about this dude. This dude, he is absolutely executing. He came up with the mission. He knows himself. He came up with a mission. He figured it out, and he's carved out a section of the population that's going to rock with his message, and he's able to help people. Man, I ain't mad at dude at all. I'm gonna give him a horn blast for that. I ain't mad at dude at all.
you in that video how that 3-date method will attract healthy women who want the same thing you do. Because what we're really doing is attack and into a poor man, unshakable in mass self, not in the arrogant way that Red Pill encourages, but as a leader that others can respect and relax into. Women will follow you out of respect instead of out of fear. And that means the loyalty and devotion that those women will exhibit can be much higher because they're secure women and they're not broken by fear or the need to protect themselves from you. This means you can build a lifelong marriage with healthy children who conquer the world. The Clear Pill has that power. My 15-year marriage and 5 children are living proof of that. First, though, follow these initial steps that we talked about and become a man that you can rely on, a man that you respect. Transform yourself and leave a comment below telling me your 3 core principles that define your honor code. I want to hear them. And remember to set your reminders on your phone so that your day starts revolving around your honor and ends with accountability. This is the start of the Clear Pill path. Guys, it's high time that we break free from the clutches of red pill ideology. It's time to equip ourselves with knowledge and understanding that fosters genuine, enriching relationships. The Clear Pill approach welcomes you with open arms, offering guidance and support as you traverse the path of healing and personal growth. You are about to become a leader that others can follow, a man of true honor. And that is more attractive than anything that red pill teaches you that women want from you. So if you find yourself ensnared in the red pill ideology, know that help is readily available. I'm happy to share more information about secure attachment, living with honesty and integrity, chasing your mission to build purpose, and living with honor in your daily life. In fact, I have videos for all of those things all over my channel. Let me
Brilliant.
know. I can point you at some specific ones if you need.
Brilliant.
Together, we can forge a future that's characterized by happiness, mutual respect, and fulfilling relationships. Feel free to reach out in the comments below for guidance and resources, and I will help set you on your journey. So, just as
I mean, that was perfect, bro. The doors of the church are open. Are you that guy? Do you struggle with this? I can help you become the honorable man you were always meant to be. The doors of the church are open. Come forward, stand up, come forward now. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm not mad. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, bro. Absolutely brilliant. You know what I mean? Shout out to dude. Shout out to dude. It's brilliant. The doors of the church are open. We can free you from the red pill shackles. Come on, man. You don't have to be angry. You can come over here and be nice. We can show you how to be this. And my thing is, bro, if it helps, man, and I want to be clear, I'm not mocking the brother. I'm serious. This is brilliant, brilliant marketing. If it helps just one dude figure it out, then I'm with it. I'm with it. Hey, the brother Pitney, you've heard it too. Dude sound like he's about to give an altar call. I ain't mad. I am not mad. There are dudes over there that are getting the help and they need this, man. They need it. And you know, there are a lot of guys who have, I guess you could say kind of like female tendencies in the sense that the way you deliver the message matters, right? Why was everyone so upset with Kevin Samuels? It wasn't his message, it's the way he said it, right? Why is everyone so up in arms with Fresh and Fit, in particular Myron? It's not what he says, it's the way he says it, right? It goes on and on and on. Like the science is sound, the math works, right? But you got a problem with the way that I did the math? All right. All right. Again, like I said, I ain't mad at dude, bro. I'm not looking for no beef. I ain't mad at dude at all. I'm a matter of fact, next time he's on a live, I'm gonna jump on a live, man. I'm gonna shoot him a super chat. And you know, like it is what it is. Like I ain't mad at dude. The guys in his chat were really adamant in defending him when I came in and said, hey man, you know, I just don't agree with your points on the red pill. Man, there was guys in there jumping on that. They were respectful. They weren't being mean or nothing like that. And I was like, cool. I didn't have time to really get into it with them. You know what I mean? The whole back and forth in the chat. Like it was cool, man. Like I'm not, if this helps one dude, then go ahead and rock it out. Go ahead and rock it out, man. Because there are guys out there who will look at the red pill content, they'll look at some of these platforms, and I can see them being hesitant and not wanting to be a part of that. Some of those guys jump in there, rah, thinking that we gotta be mad. Why? Because they're going through that red pill rage thing, right? Again, science. It's part of that science, it's part of that math. It happens. You got hurt, right? It didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out. You lost her. You lost half your stuff, right? Maybe you lost access to your kids, or maybe you found out it wasn't your kid, or maybe you put years and years into someone else's kid. And then when it was over, she's gone, the kids are gone, they've moved on somewhere else, and you're just standing there lonely in the darkness. And yeah, you're gonna be mad. And then you go out and you watch this content, and then you see it like, why didn't I see that before? And you get so upset, and then you just stay there. You just embrace that hate, and you just stay there with all that anger, right? Maybe you fall down the black pill hole for a little bit. I think those are the guys who jumped over there. Red pill isn't, to me anyway, red pill isn't about being hateful. It's not about hating women. It's about understanding women. It's about understanding today's technology and today's dating game, right? Technology has changed forever the way we date in the West, in this country in particular, but in the West in general. And the old days ain't coming back. And if you're not able to adjust to this, you will be invisible, period. That's what I'm going to tell you. And if you need somebody to say it a little bubbly for you, maybe a little soft or whatever, holler at my man Adam. Go over there and holler at him. Go watch that video from Red Pill to Clearfield and go into his chat. And there's going to be a bunch of people over there going to help you out, bro. If that's what you need, go get it. Because I don't offer that, right? I'm like, on your feet, let's get going. Pick up your weapon, follow me. Pick up your gear, follow me. Let's get back into the fight. That's where I'm at with it. Yeah, you got hurt. Big deal. We all been hurt. Yeah, you got kicked in the teeth. Remember that. Taste that blood, taste that iron in your mouth. Yeah, remember that. Because that's what the world is like. You're going to continue to get kicked in the teeth and kicked in the ribs and kicked everywhere else. That's part of it. Embrace it. Right? Embrace it, bro. Embrace it and get out here and become a man. Don't compromise your core values. Don't do that. Know yourself and know the people out there that you're going to be dealing with. Sun Tzu, know yourself, know your enemy. I'm not calling women the enemy, but know yourself and know the people you're going to be dealing with, who you're going out there, who do you want to conquer. You need to know them. That's RP, bro. That's what it is to me. There's no anger. There's no hatred. You know what I mean? Are there dudes out there that are angry and they're hate-filled? Yeah. Are there dudes out there that are tired of dealing with it and they just went off and did their own thing? Yeah, they're out there too. Right? Are there dudes out there that's happy wife, happy life? Or there's dudes out there that just, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get hurt? Yeah, they out there too. It is what it is. Brother Pitney's like, maybe you're right. If there are men that can't handle becoming a red pill purist, but find this message stops them from ending it, then there just might be a place for the clear pill. That's all I'm talking about, fam. If this can stop somebody from deleting themselves, if this can stop somebody from going out there and hurting someone or hurting a bunch of innocent people, if this can provide answers to those people out there who are struggling, then great, go get it. If this is it, this is what you need to hear, man, go get it. If you need to hear from me, fine. Here it is. You can listen to it. If you need to hear from Rich Cooper or Rollo Tomasi or Michael Certain, if you need to hear from Myron Gaines, whoever resonates with you that can help you get through your issues, then that's who you need to holler at. You know what I mean, Brother Pitney? I just don't want to see a man get led like lambs to the slaughter by getting into marriages that are statistically likely to fail. Facts. I'm still looking at dude's research. He's touched on that a little bit about marriages and how people get wrecked in family court. So my thing is this, here's the information. And if you take this information and do with it what you will, if you know the facts and you still want to get married and you don't want to do a prenup and all that kind of stuff, hey man, at least you knew. Right? We told you. Here's the info. And it didn't just come from just any old body. There are people, there are lawyers out there. Go listen to the lead attorney. Go listen to him when he talks about marriage and stuff like that. I don't agree with a lot of his content, but when he talks about marriages and he talks about who's getting divorced and why, yeah, I listen to that guy. He got over 20 years experience. You can listen to my buddy Perry Davis Jr. That's what he does. That's what he does, man. He'll tell you what it is. Like he deals with this every single day, day in and day out. Divorces. and how much money is involved in the process. There are tons of, just so as long as you know the information, then you go do what you want to do because you're a man, right? You're a man and you're an honorable man. So if you want to go out there and do it, I'm not doing it. But if you want to go out there and do it, go right ahead. And people ask me that all the time. Man, well, if you had a woman, she's the perfect woman, she wanted to get married, and she just wanted to marry you, you wouldn't marry her? Like, nope, I wouldn't legally marry her. Sure wouldn't. We can have a ceremony. It'll be a beautiful ceremony. And we can say the words and we can promise ourselves to the universe, to God or whoever. But am I going to go to the, courthouse and sign some documents? No, I'm not doing that unless she's extremely wealthy. Like if she has more money than me, if in the situation I'm the brokey and she's the one with paper, yes, then I'll sign whatever she wants me to say. Oh, we can go ahead and get married in the courthouse. We sure can. Because if this doesn't work, I'm not going to get wrecked. And as an honorable man, I'm not going to wreck her. I'm not going to take for her simply because I can. If it doesn't work out, she decides to leave me in 4 years, 5 years, 7 years. I'm not going to just take from her because I can. I'm not going to do it. Honorable men don't do that. Right? At least that's my take on honor. Like some other dudes out there be like, oh, I'm going to take it because the law say I can. Okay, fine. Do you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't going to judge. I'm not going to do it. Right? But if she has more money than me, if I'm the brokey, absolutely I'll get married. I'll get legally married. But if I'm the one with the money and she comes into the picture, no, I'm not signing any papers. No. People like, just do a prenup. I ain't even doing a prenup. I don't need to be legally married to anyone. If I want to marry her, I'll marry her. I do not want to marry the United States of America or the state of California or Florida or Kentucky or Ohio. I want to marry her. Simple as that. Yeah, and I'm going to be up on the common law rules and the laws in the state and jurisdiction in which I live, state and county. Yeah, I'm going to be on top of all that. You have to be. It's just the way the system works today. All that, red pill. It's an understanding. It is an awakening. Wake up. Like, wake up. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. And those guys who don't know and they go out there and they get wrecked, that's on them. And then they fall into this space and then they figure it out. Don't be mad at the ladies don't be mad. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't be mad at these women because they might have got over. Get involved politically and change the laws. Period. I keep stressing this. Men, if we were to come together as men in America, I'm talking to Americans now. Men, if we were to come together and find elected officials locally throughout America who are sympathetic to making changes to the family law system, it will happen. It will happen in 2 election cycles or less. Most Americans, when you run it down, you break it down to them, most Americans agree that the way the system is set up is wrong. It's hurtful. Even mainstream media now is all over it. They agree. And women are starting to get hurt. I'm telling you, the country is about to be primed to make changes to the family law system. A lot of people don't agree with me, but I'm telling you, and if you want to make this happen faster, get involved politically, find candidates who are sympathetic and get them in office. That's it. It would not take a lot of work. It would not take a lot of work. It's take the power away from the judges. Do away with family court altogether as it stands now. Just make it to where you have to go through this process and the default is 50-50 custody. They've already taken care of forever alimony. Some states are already talking about doing away with no fault divorces. Changes are already happening. But when it comes to if you have 2 people who are working and they make the same amount of money, you shouldn't be giving a house to one party or the other. You should just sell that asset and split the money. And when it comes to raising a child, men don't have any legal rights. If women want these legal rights, which I believe in my body, my choice for women. I believe in pro-choice. I believe in that. But if women have that right, if pro-choice is the thing, women get a choice, the men should have a choice. No one should be able to force someone else to be a parent, not a woman or a man. You shouldn't force a woman to have a child, and you shouldn't force a man to be financially responsible for a child if he doesn't want to be. Just like she doesn't have to have a child if she doesn't want to be responsible, right? It is what it is. A lot of people, they hate this conversation, but it needs to be had. You know what I mean? It needs to be had. It really does. And Brother Jack, we'll talk about that Friday when we get together. That'll be a good topic for our meeting on Friday. What is common law rule in Florida? Red Pill doesn't talk about that, man. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I know that Fresh and Fit has talked about it because they bring this married couple attorneys on to the show a lot to talk about family law stuff in Florida, and then in general for the rest of the country, but Florida specific. So we'll definitely talk about that. That's actually a really good show. They've done at least 3 shows, maybe 4 or 5. They've done a few, and they talk about how the marriage laws work and how the family laws work and common law and all that kind of stuff here in Florida. So yeah, bro, we'll talk about that on Friday. And speaking of Fresh and Fit, I found this clip, Big Mo and Myron, and I thought this clip was cool. I want you guys to check this out. Right. And this kind of talks, I wanted to show this for a couple reasons. First of all, the women on Fresh and Fit, like the Fresh and Fit fam, the women who work with the Fresh and Fit platform to source women and all that, they get red pilled big time. When they see how women act, they're like, oh my goodness. And it's just like the Fresh and Fit men, they're like, yeah, and this is how it always is. This is how women get down. And so this was a good clip for that point. And then there's another point here that talks about how they were saying that, like the Fresh and Fit guys, the gurus hate women, this and that. I think this really dispels that myth as well. Are there guys out there that hate women in the red pill space? Yes, of course. But when you talk about red pill leaders, I would say Myron right now, like it or not, Myron's the guy, right? He is the guy that's the torchbearer for the red pill right now. And I can promise you he does not hate women. And I know this for a fact. But check this out.
Yeah, I want to talk about getting RP aware. The girls began to rage the most.
Yeah.
Because they actually like deal with the girls day to day, bringing them upstairs in the room. So they're most mad is the girls that work for us, bro.
Because they get a taste of what it means to be a man for the first time.
Facts,
yeah,
bro. And it really gets annoying. So it's a very interesting to see how the females respond to it.
Well, actually, I want to say one of the biggest takeaways was this one episode where Fed reacts when you was doing Vibes Cartel.
Yeah.
And your assistant of that night, who used to source for girls, she was you was asking to say
you can name her Dollface. Shout out to Dollface, man.
I don't want to.
No, she's a good people, man.
Right.
I give credit where it's due.
Okay,
Shout out to her.
All right.
Dollface, yeah.
All right. So Dollface was
the Jamaican man.
So Dollface was like, oh my God, like what is it? Is this house like dealing with like, yo, if you say you're gonna come, if you're saying you're on your way, be there. Like
yeah, the whole concept of flaking was like, which is like, what is this?
Yeah, she could not believe it flaking.
She couldn't believe that women flake.
Losing her mind, bro. That shit was hilarious.
Oh my God.
You're like, you're like, now you know.
Yo,
now you know how we feel. And I always
Angie too. Angie be tight.
Oh man,
Angie like quit like telling girls to come, and this is like I hate this. I hate these women.
Like, even seeing Icy's like
she's the most
bitter.
Shout out Icy.
Icy the most bitter.
It's like more consecutive days she keeps wanting to fight some of these girls. Like more and more like I'm like, oh my God, this bitch arguing like stop cutting them the fuck. I'm gonna beat Mom. She be like, Mom, I'm gonna beat her ass. I'm like, yo, chill.
Yo, facts. Like, and for those who don't follow Fresh and Fit or Fetted, Myron has assistants on Fetted. Like he has, women. So, and even on Fresh and Fit platform, there are a lot of women behind the scenes. Talking about Icy, talking about Xena, you know what I mean? You're mentioning Dollface, talking about Angie. There are a lot of women behind the scenes. They're all part of the Fresh and Fit camp to help that show run. And for those who don't know, Dollface was this black sister. Well, I think she was Jamaican or from the islands. Beautiful, registered nurse, amazing woman, fine, sharp. She had been on more than one panel on Fresh and Fit, and then you would see her on Fetted helping Myron get Fetted. Now it's Fed Reacts. It was Fetted back in the day. Yo, you heard like Mo was trying to stay away from saying her name, but you heard what Myron said, like, no, man, she's legit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, she's good people. Nah, like get credit where credit's due. She's a real one. Right. So, and he's talking about Angie. If you go watch Fair React now, if you see Angie is from Venezuela, I believe. I sat down at a dinner with Myron was there, Angie was there, and one of Myron's other women were there. Right. This was the night of the collab with Saucecast with Valuetainment. Like they had the live event. So we were all after the event, we were all having dinner. And I'm sitting there. Myron practices what he preaches. He doesn't lie. He tells the ladies what's going on, and the women get to make a choice. Dollface made a choice. Angie made a choice. Right? You're gonna say that this guy is manipulating women or he hates women or these, no, that's not what they teach. That's not at all what they teach. You know what I mean? Not at all what they teach. He practices what he preaches. He gives women the opportunity, and you can see in real time how it works out. They don't have no drama. Him and Dollface is cool. Angie, cool. And like she ain't gonna have no drama when she see her come around. Like it's and I forget the name of the other woman. The other one was fine too. Like Myron has some dimes around him, y'all. Y'all just don't understand. You know what I mean? I was impressed. Even Uncle Saint was impressed. All right. I'm saying for the record, Uncle Saint was impressed. I'm like, damn, bro. Because but Myron's like the rest of us, man. It can't all be home runs, bro. He's got a couple bunts of him legged out. You know what I mean? He took a couple for the team. You know what I mean? Like that one chick that was accused him of, being the daddy. I know what I'm talking about. Oof, we all got him in the closet, man. But they keep it 100 over there. This is what happens when you are an honorable man and you do what you say you're going to do and you live that life as best you can. You walk that path. Myron he knows his mission. He knows what he wants to do. He knows who he is, right? He knows himself. He knows his enemy, so to speak. He knows the women. It's not that they're enemy, but they're not the enemy, but he understands the other side. He is going to be successful. Same with Fresh. Same with Mo. Same with me. Same with you. This is how it works, right? This is how it works. But I wanted to show that part real quick with Dollface. You know what I mean? And Myron had to tell Mo, like, nah, it's all good, man. She a real one. It's all good. And then like with Icy, man, Icy tall, bro. Like she ain't no joke. I had no idea Icy was that tall. You know what I mean? She's real cool. She's a sweetheart. Shout out to you, loves. Like for real, a sweetheart. I got to meet her in person again that same night at that event with Valuetainment. Real cool woman. And then I met her again. Well, I met her the first time at the 1 million party on the boat party, but it was so much going on. That wasn't like a proper sit down, but we got to actually sit down because Icy was at dinner with us and all that. So yeah, man, it boils down to you as an individual. Like what kind of man you want to be, what kind of life you want to live, what path will you walk, right? That's what it boils down to. But they don't hate women. Stop. They don't hate women. You know what I mean? Brother Jack, hashtag Mo, love how they are including his personality in the show more. Absolutely. Mo's, man, one of the nicest people I've ever met. I love that brother. I love him when he's around. You can't help but be happy. You can't be around him and have attitude, man. You just can't. You know what I mean? He's just so genuine and real, bro. Like, shout out to Mo, man. Shout out to the whole team. You know what I mean? Brother Pitney was like, gotta love Big Mo. Absolutely gotta love Big Mo, man. Like Dollface was on a panel on Monday. It was nice seeing her again. See, there's no drama. Like, there's no drama. And if they really need it, they can hit her up like, yo, Dollface, can you come through, please? Like, yeah, I'll come through, whatever. I don't watch the after hours, so I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can find that one for Monday. Just to, you know what I mean? I'll just watch the very beginning when she introduces herself or whatever. But yeah, man, let's finish up the video.
Chill.
Yeah, the girls that work for us get like I think they get the biggest awakening. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's different when you're like dealing with girls from like a more social sense versus like from a business sense like we do. You know what I mean? So like for them, it's extremely frustrating because they like literally see the flakiness and the last minuteness, the annoyingness, the diva-ness, all this other stuff, and it influences their day. So they get annoyed by it like this, and they're like, "What the? This is what men deal with? Like, what am I doing?" You know? And that's not all the girls. Honestly, most of the girls that come are very polite, really nice, really friendly, really, not difficult. But it always takes like just one or two difficult girls, bro, to mess it up for everybody. That's all it takes. It's just like one difficult chick.
Another thing also do with, let's say, some of the girls behind the scenes actually know some of the girls that's been on the show. So sometimes there will be a girl that will be on the panel, virtual signaling. She'll say whatever her views are, but certain girls in the back, they were like, wait, hold on, this broad, she's not like this. Like she ain't, why she acting like a good girl here? She was just for Pookie Ray Ray and
Pookie Ray Ray, that's crazy.
And I always say, for people in the audience, when I'm thinking about bills here, I always say you will either find your way to the red pill or women will make you find your way to the red pill.
Facts. And it's always better to come here on your own, bro.
Did you hear that? Women will make you find your way to the red pill. You gonna tell me Big Mo hates women? Come on now. And all those good things Myron had to say about the women that come on the show. You would think if he's frustrated about anything, he's frustrated about those women. It cost him his hair. He had to go get that hair replacement thing, which looks good, by the way. Shout out to Myron. He's got the waves back. I was like, just go like Uncle Sam, man. Just shave it all off. He's like, nah. He's got the waves back. But if anyone would have anything bad to say about women, and the women that come onto that show, especially, he would have taken the opportunity to say it right there. Well, what did Myron say? It's like, the majority of the women that come on here are good. They're cool people. They come on, they know what time it is. They do what they're supposed to do. They're here on time. They follow the rules. It's great. It's just that small minority of women who are just like whatever, those women who've never heard no and whatnot, right? So again, if he hated women, I'm talking about Myron, wouldn't that have been an opportunity right there to just dunk on some women just because, screw these B's and these 304s and da-da-da. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. They only good for one thing and da-da. He didn't say none of that. And another one, like Top G, probably the king of the red pill, right? Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was on Just Pearly Things. This is before they locked him up. I'm glad he's out now. He's on house arrest, and that whole case is about to be over soon. Like, yeah, man, that whole case is about to be over. So we'll cover that when it comes. We give it a few more months. But he was on Just Pearly Things in London, right? This is before they locked him up in Romania. He was on a show with Brittany Renner, right? And again, this is Top G. This is the king of toxic masculinity, right? According to the mainstream media. He's on the panel. It's him, Brittany Renner, and I think 3 other women were on the panel. Pearl was there. And Brittany Renner asked Andrew Tate, how can I get a top tier guy? How can I get a high value man? And Tate, who was like, I don't know much about you. You want to talk about an opportunity to crush someone's soul, right? Brittany Renner on that show, if you go back and watch that show, she had an attitude. She was waiting for the hammer to fall. You could tell, just look at her, she was waiting for it, and it never came. Tate knew that. Walking in, you can tell that he sensed she was uncomfortable. He sensed that she was waiting for some drama. And the way he handled it was masterful, right? You could tell he was a good guy. He did not go in there to get that viral moment. When she came to him and by the time she asked the question, how can I get a top tier guy? How can I get a good man? The answer he gave her was brilliant. It was true. He delivered it in a way that was very respectful. If he hated women, why wouldn't he have just slammed her on her head in that moment? She opened herself up to him. She was vulnerable. If he hated women, that would have been the perfect moment to just crush her soul. And trust me, he could have done that. Dude knows what he's doing. He could have done that, and he did not do it. Yet they will tell you that the red pill guys and guys like Andrew Tate hate women. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just one of those things, bro. I truly don't agree with it. One last thing I wanted to show, and this is from Adam Lane Smith's video. This is the live that I jumped in on right now. Mind you, I had already sent the chat. I sent in the chat that said, I didn't agree with his take on the red pill. I'm kind of scanning to see if I can find it. Oh, can't find it. I don't know where it went. But I basically was saying, hey, oh, here it is. I just discovered your content. I don't agree with your take on RP, but I respect the fact that you are helping men. Keep up the hard work, brother. I sent him that in the chat. And the way he does it, he doesn't share screens and stuff like that the way I do. He just kind of reads them. He's sitting there. He'll just read the chats he wants to read. He skipped over that chat. But then I sent in a super chat. He actually did read that. And like I say, man, it's a lot of people who are looking for drama. Like, I guess they expect red pill guys to crash over there and, just, want to troll or whatever. I wasn't doing that at all. This is the first time. Again, when I watched this, I'm like, this is way different than what I saw in that video. Like, that's what I was thinking to myself. Like, this is way different than that video. And I see what he's doing. So, yeah, let's watch a little bit of this.
Any chance on getting a video on how to get your ex back? Ooh, Steven. Ooh, get your ex back. I don't encourage people to share exes. I know that that's a hot topic. I know I could probably make a fortune if I wanted to pump out an ex course, but it's just it often doesn't work out. There's usually a reason you guys split up. It's usually, and it's not like there's no hope, because plenty of people can get back and rebuild a good relationship, but there's work that has to be done first. You know what I mean? Everyone like the stream. Adam's working hard. Liking takes a second. I appreciate you, Steven. Yeah, guys, if you would like the stream, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. I would really appreciate that. It helps it, and it actually boosts us in the algorithm, so more people will pop in here. Thank you, guys. Malcolm X said a man should aim for a woman half his age plus 7. So if you're 30, you should marry 22-year-old. Your thoughts? Well, that's pretty weird at 80 years old. It's pretty weird at 20 years old. I don't know that that's generally a rule. Most people are happy, the research shows, within about 5 years of each other. Within about 5 years is where the most happiest marriages tend to be. Inability for females to pair bond if they get too much different. All of my happy married friends are wives or virgins. All my divorced friends married women with 10 plus bodies. Didn't think of pair bonding was real taste of the patterns. So keep in mind that we actually cannot do that research. There's no actual research that says, hey, because of the oxytocin bonding, they are incapable. There's anecdotal correlation that many women who undergo specific surveys then will have various things, but you have to also be aware of where they're tracking that from. Are they doing it in New York City? Right? Think of it that way. Also, there's a correlation between women who have a lot of sexual partners. Many of them often have attachment issues. I'm not saying they all do. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying there is a high correlation, men and women, of having a huge number of sexual partners often correlates with having some attachment issues.
And you see what I mean? Like when you listen to the brother, like, and when he talks about this stuff, like we're gonna keep it running because he does read the super chat I sent in. I want you guys to hear that part as well. But the way he talks, he's like, doesn't want to offend anybody. It's kind of like that corporate mainstream media kind of sensibilities, like, oh, but he's also using facts, like, body count correlation and all that. There are those studies. I think it was the study of family something or whatever. There's a big study out there that everyone states that if you have over five or more sexual partners, that the chances of your relationship not working or ending in divorce goes way up. There are studies out there, bro. I think the women have always been getting it throughout history. Those women who did. It's just what it was. And the only way that men could fight that was they had to have a virgin to make sure that was their son or daughter, that make sure that was their child. I get all that. Are there women out there who have a really high body count but are in successful relationships? Sure, there's some out there. You know what I mean? What are the numbers? I don't know. Just like he was saying, I don't know. And until someone does a study, we won't know. But you know, it's a safer bet if you're with a woman who has less sexual experience. If you can find her, it's a safer bet. My thing is at least have the woman who doesn't have her experience out there. Like it's not in the cloud. Like she wasn't thirst trapping on Instagram. She wasn't, you know what I mean, showing you all these different dinners at these expensive restaurants or on a private jet or on a boat when you know that she couldn't afford all that. At least get the woman who was wise enough not to put all that stuff on the web, right? You know what I mean, in the cloud. Plausible deniability only works when there's no proof, gentlemen. Never forget that.
And they're looking for love and intimacy and connection. Again, not everyone, but there usually is a very high correlation. I worked with a couple just not too long ago where she had a what you would consider a high body count. I know is what to say. And she a lot of it actually followed a sexual assault, and she was trying to get control, and she hated it, and she wished she could trade all of it just to be with the one partner she was with. So it was a way of trying to get control after a sexual assault. There's a lot of things there. DL Saint, thank you so much for that $10 donation. I really appreciate you. That is very kind. That'll help the work. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you. Agreed. Don't chase the X. There's a reason it didn't work. Right. Usually the reason it didn't work is because one of you doesn't share the other person's principles, or one or both of you have attachment issues and you're running away from the relationship. One or both of you could not cooperate during conflicts to make it work. So there was a fundamental skill missing somewhere in that relationship. And you need to understand that, and you need to take that seriously. If you can do that, fantastic. Thank you, DL Saint. You and I are on the same page there. I got you.
And that bit right there, you and I on the same page there. I got you. He went back and he read the chat that I sent in, not the super chat, but the one before when I said, hey, I don't agree with your take on the red pill, but you're helping men. That's what he meant by that. And he was like, yo, I appreciate it, because he thought it was going to be some drama. No drama. He's helping men, yo. He's helping men. And Casual Germs was like, yo, snap a shout out. Yeah. Y'all know Uncle Saint be in these trenches, bro. And I'm going to come at people with respect and peace. I'm not looking for drama, especially if you helping men. I'm trying to help men too. I want to help people. If I can help women, I help them out too. You know what I mean? That's why I tell women, man, keep it in the closet, bro. If you're a 304, man, keep that in the closet. Don't let it out. Don't let nobody know. Do what you do, you know what I mean, in the shadows. Right? So you can lie about it later. We need that plausible deniability. But yeah, man, like I got no problem with Brother Adam. You know what I mean? Shout out to Adam Lane Smith. Matter of fact, you know what I mean? Shout out to the brother. I don't need that soft approach, and most of the dudes who rock over here on this platform don't need that soft approach. But if you do need it, go get it. There it is right there. Go holler at him. Go holler at him. When he said that, though, it's like about the X, 100% agree. I agree with him. It didn't work, man. For whatever reason, it didn't work. Don't go back. Could you go back and try it again? Yeah. And guess what? It's probably not going to work. It's just 2 or 3 more years that you're going to burn. You know what I mean? There's relationships take a lot of work, bro. They take a lot of work. Romantic relationships between men and women take a lot of work, a lot of understanding, a lot of patience, a lot of sacrifice, right? A lot of compromise. Most people don't want to do that, men and women. Bottom line, most people don't want to do that. So when people ask me, what's the key to success, right? Hard work, man. Keep working. Keep doing it. What's your mission? You have to find that woman that aligns with your mission. And in order to accomplish those missions, whatever those goals are, to accomplish those goals and to accomplish that mission, you need to have the right person. Period. Right? If I'm out here and I got a problem and I'm going to take down some oil rig that has a bunch of terrorists on there, I need SEAL Team 6. That's their specialty. That's what they do. Right? Force Recon Marines can do it. Right? Green Berets can do it. Rangers can do it. They all train it, but that's not their specialty, right? If I want to take down an airport, right? The 82nd Airborne Division, 18th Airborne Corps, they're best suited for that. That's the mission that we train for. They can do that. That's in their wheelhouse. You want to make sure, right, you have the right personnel for the mission. So a lot of people that get women and like, well, she's kind of good enough. Well, if she's not aligned with this mission, it's not going to work. You need the right team. Right? You need the right team. During Panama, I don't know if you guys noticed, but during the quote unquote invasion of Panama, when America went down there and dealt with Noriega, there was a SEAL team that was tasked with taking out Noriega's private jet. That was not in the SEALs' will. I mean, SEALs can do anything, but that was not their primary mission. But they sent the SEAL team out there. It was a pretty big SEAL team to do it. That was a Ranger mission. That was a Ranger mission. It would have been more of them. They would have taken care of it. They would have secured most of that airport. They would have blown up the jet and they would have got out of there. That's a Ranger mission. But they sent the SEALs, and some SEALs were lost. They got the job done because they're SEALs. They're the best. But that wasn't their mission. You want to make sure you align the right personnel with your mission. And it takes work. Think of the training that these people do, the SEALs. You know what I mean? The Force Recon Marines, the Marine Sniper Scout teams. Think about the training the Rangers and the Green Berets put in. Think about that. They do a lot of training. Yeah, MARSOC Marines. Think about all the training they're training right now. Right? They're training right now. That it takes that much work to be committed to that way of life. So when you get in your relationship, you need to put in that work. You need to put in that training. You need to make sure you got the right person. If you don't have the right person, you got a decision to make. You know what I mean? It's time to make a decision. You got to move on. Right? Once you're ready to move on, you put it out there. Hey, this isn't working. You know what I mean? I still love you, but you know, I need someone that's aligned to my mission. You know what I mean? So this isn't working. Let's just move on. Why go back? You know what I mean? Why go back? And most of the time, it's always dudes trying to get their ex back. And it's almost always the case where the woman left him and he just never got over her. Right? And again, this is how dudes found a red pill. What did Mo say? You're going to find a red pill one way or the other. Either she's going to red pill you or you're going to come looking for answers on your own. So that's what it boils down to. So I'm going to leave it there. Appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for rocking out with me. That was a two-parter for for brother Adam Lang Smith, the great the clear pill guy. Right. So again, shout out to him. I ain't mad at what he's doing. Brilliant strategy to get people into his funnel. And it looks like it's gonna work. It looks like it's working. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be over there hollering at dude whenever I can, whenever I catch him. I might be able to learn some stuff over there, but everything I've heard so far aligns with the red pill message 100%. No deviations there. So it's just red pill. And it's shoved into some candy so people can, it's more, it goes down easier, right? That's all it is. It's just a very, the messaging is just different, right? It's just toned down. That's all it is. It's just toned down red pill, but the tenets are still there. He's helping men over there. And anyone out here is helping men is okay with me, helping men and women. And you're okay with me. So I'm done. That's what it is, bro. Appreciate y'all rocking out with me. It's always a pleasure. I'll see y'all tomorrow. You know what I mean? See, I try to talk soft and it doesn't work. I'll see you tomorrow. And we can sit around and we can talk about, how you feel. And fuck all that, bro. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all get up in here, man. Be ready. Don't be late. You know what I mean? If you late, beat your boots. You know what I mean? Which means, do some squats. You know what I mean? Or give me some push-ups or something. Do something hood. Do something hood with your life. Right? You know what I mean? Thanks for rocking out with me. I'm DL Saint. This is the I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.